I spoke to Scott Coker literally 10 minutes before you walked out, and he told me that if you came out of this boxing match unscathed, that Bellator would like to book you for Newcastle December 15th. So A, are you unscathed, any injuries, and B, does that make sense for you to fight Newcastle?
Yeah, no, I'm completely fine, no injuries. A lot of times adrenaline, because you're still kind of pumped up for everything, you kind of later on feel like, oh yeah, that hurts and that hurts a little bit, but to be fair, I don't feel like that's going to happen today. And I'm not going to make any decisions on the fights because I don't anyway, and I've been telling people this from so long. Down to Bellator, if they're excited for me to be in Newcastle, they're going to be speaking to the right people on my team, my coaches, and they probably have like already spoken already. And then when I get into the gym, we sit down, we talk about, okay, what's the next best move and blah blah blah. But I kind of leave it to them, and then I just, to be fair, I'm an employee. I do what I'm told. Like, this is where they want me. I go there and do that. They give me the opportunity to even do this. Massively thankful. So I should go and pay them back. You know, knock someone out in MMA.
Has it been good just to compete as well? Because like, it's been over almost a year since you last were able to compete, just to get that competitive, energy out of your system.
Seriously, no, it's exactly as you say. I'm coming from the sport karate background. Every weekend we're fighting, and I'm fighting like 3 or 4 divisions, so I could be fighting all day, and that's what I'm used to go from training all the time and not getting that release. So yeah, this is why I'm that much more excited about boxing as well, because it gives me the opportunity to perform way more times during the year. And a lot of the times, if you catch injuries, which again, MMA is a lot easier to catch an injury in, a lot of the times in the recovery, I'd be able to box quicker coming back than I would be able to do MMA. So that is a good thing. So if I was, touch wood, get an injury doing MMA or training for a fight, I know if I was to recover, in my recovery, I'd be able to get a boxing fight out and then move back into and do an MMA fight. So it just means I can be way more active, and it's good for anybody that's supporting.
I spoke to Paul Daley yesterday, and he's very contradictory in his messages, because he said that he's not interested in fighting you, but at the same time he told me that he's looking forward to fighting next summer. Where do you currently stand with Paul Daley? Because on the MMA side, that's without a doubt the biggest fight you can put on here in the UK is you versus Paul Daley.
I don't even know who that is. Who's sorry? I've never heard of this name. I don't even know who you're talking about right now. Probably that some random garbage fighter that just has a big mouth. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you think if Mayweather-McGregor happens, this doesn't happen? Or for you, do you think this is always going to be on the cards, that you're always going to go into boxing?
So a lot of people have asked the same, like, was it kind of McGregor that inspired that transition? No, only because I was supposed to fight on David Hayes' last one, and the only reason I didn't come about is because Bellator weren't happy at the time with it. There was a lot of things you have to put in place, a lot of politics that you have to kind of make sure is correct and tick all the boxes, cross all the T's, dot all the I's. So there's a lot of that had to be done that wasn't done. Bellator weren't, they were a bit uncomfortable at the time because it was very short notice. They just needed a bit more time, and they wanted to be a bit more involved with the transition, but they was always happy for me to do it. But it's been a conversation I've had 4 or 5 years ago, so it was always gonna happen. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a super fight similar to the McGregor-Mayweather, or like one-off, or me taking it seriously, but I'm confident in myself, like I can box, so it's me taking it seriously, and again, still doing both.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking right here.